On September 13, 2006, without any warning, Jeff King collapsed. His wife, Chrissy, found him on the kitchen floor, struggling to breathe.
I lifted him, and he fell backwards, and his eyes started rolling back.
Fire emergency?
My husband just passed out on the floor, and he's saying he can't breathe. So that my dad's not breathing, I live at maybe he passed out.
With each breath, I felt weaker and weaker and weaker. The feeling of drowning, everybody has that nightmare of being underwater and seeing the top and not being able to get up there and get that air. I was not getting that feeling of oxygen, that feeling of life.
Jeff was rushed to Mission Hospital as his vital signs were quickly declining.
And when they placed Jeff on the table, it was evident that he was in severe distress. His color was blue. He was gasping for air, and we immediately started to develop a differential diagnosis, a list of possibilities that this patient could be suffering from.
Dr. Winokur suspected that Jeff had a dangerous pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in his lung.
So it looks pretty confirmed that it's got a large PE in his right ventricle.
His condition went from bad to worse. His heart stopped beating. It took 7 minutes of CPR to get his heart started.
The patient remained critical, and as a result of that, we took him to the interventional radiology suite with the objective of trying to improve and stabilize his condition.
We used some special devices, catheters that travel directly into the pulmonary arteries that allow us to administer the medicines directly into the clot.
Toward the end of the procedure, a second code blue was called when Jeff's heart failed again. Using a brand new CPR protocol, the staff took turns doing rapid compressions.
We were able to do this new CPR, which is hard and fast, very tiring, and switch out about every 2 minutes with a new individual doing CPR.
After his second arrest in the interventional radiology suite, Dr. Rouser and I did talk to Chrissy and told her that his situation was very critical. You could see her concern.
And they told me, I don't know if he's going to make it. And I can remember screaming at them and pleading with them. Jeff does everything for his boys. Now I'm asking you to do something for him.
I remember Dr. Rouser fought so hard to save his life, and when the code had been going on for an extremely long time, he would not give up.
I remember distinctly feeling very sad, very dejected that this was going to end in a bad way.
That day was the worst day of my life. Just waiting to see if he was going to be okay.
Suddenly, there were signs of life.
It is incredibly unusual to live through 2 episodes of cardiac arrest. 6 or 7 minutes in itself is a long period of time, but 16 minutes of asystolic cardiac arrest and surviving is just, it's a miracle.
Success that was achieved was really the convergence of a lot of people participating.
Jeff was transferred to the cardiac intensive care unit in a medically induced coma. To minimize damage to his brain from the extensive cardiac arrests, he became the first patient at Mission to receive a new hypothermia protocol.
The simplest way to look at it is the data when people have heard about children drowning in the Midwest and being pulled out of lakes and then somehow remarkably recovering without any injury. And so in a sense, what we're seeing is patients who have had lack of blood flow to the brain. A way to protect the brain is to cool it down so that it can't injure itself.
I can remember looking at my watch with every hour that passed, saying, okay, this is a good thing we made it a half an hour. Okay, this is a good thing we made it for another hour.
Jeff's struggle hit close to home for Mission Hospital's president, Peter Bastone, whose sons played sports together.
When I saw Jeff in the bed, I saw myself, a young dad, having a whole life ahead of him, and it could happen to anybody. I'm just glad that it happened here. He came to the right place at the right time. We had the right physicians in place, the right nurses, the right technology, and you know, God bless that we had the right outcome.
But I knew he was in good hands with the nurses that he had. They never left his side in that room. There was 2 of them for 24 hours, and I kept on saying, "You guys are the best."
Jeff was slowly awakened from his coma.
I remember a lot of crying on her end, and I remember nurses crying. The next day, which was that Monday morning, she did bring him in, I think after school. And that was a very, very fun time. They started calling me the Miracle Man right away, and I thought that was kind of funny, although I didn't understand it, you know what I mean? Because it's not supposed to happen like that. You know, I've now been given a second chance on life, you know, because of the efforts of the people at Mission. I mean, how great is that? How can you thank people for that?
I was so excited just to have him back in my life.
Seeing a father who's able to return home, to be with his sons, to coach his sons in a sport, there is no other reward better than that on the planet.
There were angels looking down on us.